What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another video. And if you are new here, my name is Val and welcome to my channel. So I came across this woman's video where she was sharing her struggles and frustrations with this walk and her faith, right? And I wanted to talk about this because I feel like this video may help somebody out there who may be dealing with the same thing. So I just commend her for being super transparent and open with the public on how she's struggling in her faith. So I'm not going to judge her because we've all been there where we've had our own struggles, right? And frustrations. So I'm going to play the video clip. There is some slight profanity, just a quick disclaimer. So I'm going to play the clip and then we're going to come back and talk about it some more.
I don't give a fuck. I regret saying yes to God wholeheartedly. Jesus, the one I got tatted on my chest, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm done. I regret saying yes to God because the person I was, like, he's supposed to transform you, right, into a better version in him. I'm the worst version of myself. And at this point, I don't give a fuck no more. I lived in Los Angeles, California, born and raised for 27 years of my life. I was surrounded by a support system. I know that everybody didn't have my back the way that I had theirs, but damn it, it was family and I loved them. And they supported me when it came to my kids. For 27 years, right, I was optimistic. I was business minded. I purchased the ice cream truck, my first little business. I sold my car so I could purchase the ice cream truck. I started a nonprofit organization. And then in the midst of all of that, bro, I encountered God when I was going through the worst relationship I ever been in. My first and only relationship, which was the worst relationship ever. So I encountered God, right? And then I took a leap of faith. He told me drop everything. He said leave my ice cream truck. He said leave my family, move to a whole other state with just me and my two kids. And I did because I saw what he did in other people's lives. I wasn't chasing after God. I wasn't in church. I wasn't dealing with nobody. He came to me. He came to me that night when I was sitting in my car smoking weed by myself because I like being by myself. But being by myself now is horrible. And the reason why it's so horrible is because I'm the worst version of myself now. I'm mean. I am not a mean person. I'm not. But I will curse a bitch in a whole fucking second. And that's not me. I will never curse anybody, but the way people treat me ever since he anointed me, I hate this shit. People sit there and they cry about being anointed, this and the other. This shit is trash. Don't nobody like you. Churches reject you and shit. You don't look like what most people would call a prophet or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't care. I don't care. I miss myself. I miss the optimistic EJ. I miss the go hard and go home EJ. I miss the fall down and get back up EJ. But this right here, after I said yes to God, bro, everything was cool for like a year, almost. And after that, I'm like a whole different person. And I don't like her. I don't like her at all. And it's all his fault. I know I ain't been perfect in this whole entire process. I'm human. You feel me? I was dealing with a lot of trauma, a lot of this, that, and the other started to rise in, and I didn't know how to take it. So I would run to certain things other than God, but I told God, I said, I want to give you everything. You got everything. And now I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't want nothing to do with Jesus at all. I don't even want to be here, to be honest with y'all, but I'm tired of this shit. For real, dead ass. Dead ass. It's so easy for these false prophets to walk around because they ain't got a deal. They on the side of the other motherfucker who be over here attacking the real people. I'm real. And here I am. I don't want nothing to do with the church. I don't want nothing to do with God. I don't want nothing to do with not a fucking person. I just want to live, not for a long time, but for a good time. So I'm going to make the rest of my days, fuck this. I don't give a fuck.
that was a lot. And I just commend her for being transparent, because there's people out there who may feel exactly like her, right? But they don't have the voice, or they're not bold enough to say it out loud because they may feel ashamed. They may feel like they don't have an outlet to go to, right? So I just commend her for being brave and just being transparent. But I couldn't help but notice the fact that she was saying things like she wants to act out of character, or she is acting out of character. She's wanting to curse people out, and she's like angry now. And that's a sign of a spiritual attack, right? You wanting to act out of character. You're not being yourself, right? And that's exactly what the enemy wants. He wants you to act out of character. He wants you to be this angry person. He wants you to be somebody that you're not, right? And he's putting all of those negative thoughts in her mind, bringing up the past, right? Making it seem like she needs to go back to her past, and that she was much better in her past and happier, right? And he's going to play those mind games with you where you feel like, you know what? I was better off in the past. I was better off in the world, and I need to go back. He wants you to go backwards. But she already did the hard part, which was saying yes to the Most High, right? Do you know how many people deny him? Do you know how many people who are not going to say yes to him and have not said yes to him, right? But the fact that she already said yes, right? She said yes to him. And the minute you say yes, the enemy is going to be upset, right? Here comes the demons. Here comes the spiritual attacks. Because you said yes. You want to be righteous. You want to be better. So, of course, the enemy is going to be upset. He's going to send those spiritual attacks. But you can't let him win, right? You cannot let him win. And it sounds like she's dealing with a lot, right? She may be dealing with some church hurt, confusion, frustration. She has a lot of questions. And it also sounds like she's unsure on why she said yes. She doesn't understand why she's going through trials and tribulations, right? And the Most High never said that this walk was going to be easy, right? If you just take a look at some of the people in the Bible, the prophets, many of them went through a lot, right? A lot of trials and tribulations. But there's a bigger picture at the end of the tunnel, right? That's what you have to keep in mind. Okay, I know I'm going through something, but I know there's a bigger picture at the end of the tunnel. I know what the purpose is, right? I know at the end of the day, regardless if I'm going through something, there's a bigger purpose at the end, right? The light is at the end of the tunnel. So you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. Don't let the enemy put those negative thoughts in your mind, and now you're making that agreement with him, right? And based off this video, it sounded like she made up her mind, right? It sounded like she gave up. And that's exactly what he wants. He wants you to give up. He wants you to go back. He wants you to go back to your old self, your worldly self, right? Because he's going to put in your mind that, this is much better, right? He's going to put those negative thoughts and have you thinking that, the Most High doesn't love you because you're going through things, right? And that's why I love the story of Job, because even though he lost everything, he still kept his faith, right? He still kept going. He didn't give up, right? You don't think he was frustrated. You don't think he was confused, right? But he still kept his faith, and he ended up receiving more than what he lost. So I just want her to know, not to give up. Don't let the enemy win. Don't make that agreement with him where, you're making a covenant and you're letting him know that the God that you serve is not doing enough for you, right? The God that you serve doesn't love you. Don't make that covenant with the enemy. She also mentioned how God spoke to her one night and told her to leave her business and her family behind and to move to a different state with her kids, right? So it kind of sounds like she's going through some type of isolation season. And I don't know if she has anybody in her corner that she can go to for guidance, for help, right? Some spiritual guidance. But sometimes the isolation season could be dangerous depending on how you use it, right? If you're going through an isolation season, you have to make sure that you're staying in prayer, right? You're fasting, you're reading your word. You have to make sure that, you're using your time wisely, right? So I hope she has at least one person in her corner where she can go to and talk to about her frustrations. So another thing that stuck out to me was when she said she doesn't want to be here for a long time, but for a good time. And that just sounds like the enemy speaking, right? You don't want to be here for a good time. You don't want to be here for a long time. You just want to be here for a good time. He wants you to, live it up, have a good time. Don't worry about the consequences. Just live it up, right? And I really hope she doesn't make that agreement with him, and I hope she doesn't let the enemy win, right? So if you can keep this sister in your prayers, her name is Alyssa Johnson, and if you can leave some encouraging words in the comment section below, hopefully she sees this video somehow. Maybe you can share any tips, advice, or scriptures, right? Or you can just share your thoughts in general. So if you can relate to her in any way, if you had any moments where you wanted to walk away from the faith, or you dealt with, negative thoughts, maybe you can share how you overcame that. All right. So I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.